Hey friends, welcome back to the Mindset Podcast. I am your host, Sally Allen, and I'm really excited about this episode. And the reason why is I think it would be great for all leaders to incorporate this into their teams. I was coaching a leader a few months ago, and he said, Sally, I saw this thing on the other day on a podcast where a leader created these 5 I statements. And he said, I want to create something like that for my team. I didn't want to use what he has, but I wanted to create my own. And so I asked his permission to share this. We came up with these 5 I statements. And I think it's important if you feel, especially if your company's values aren't strong enough, or if you feel like they don't really align with you and you want to do something a little different for your team that you know that would be heart-centered and you know that will help your team to move forward as one, you could come up with something like this. So the first one was, I say what I mean. And this begins with clarity. He's telling all of his team members, I want each of you to say what you mean. Do not go around the bush and try to get us to try to figure out what you're trying to say. Just tell us exactly what you mean in a kind way. You could do that, but say what you mean and mean what you say. Second, I do what I say. And this is where credibility is built, because set realistic expectation. This is where he was going with the second. I want you to set realistic expectation. I want you to do what you say you're going to do. I don't want you to tell me that we are going to finish this in 3 weeks because you're trying to impress me. Tell me the truth. Is it going to take 3 or 6 weeks? So do as you say. I've worked in organizations where leaders trying to impress the board or impressing the C-suite by saying, oh, we're going to finish this within a month, and then comes crashing down to their teams like, we've got to finish this in a month, when it's so unrealistic, but that leader wanted to look good. So this is what this one means. I do what I say. The next one is, I'm sorry, I wrote it down. I did not want to forget. I own my impact. This one is hard. I own my impact. So whether your impact is positive, whether your impact is negative, you own that impact. That builds credibility like nothing else, especially when things are not going right and you are owning your impact. The 2 most powerful words you could use when things does not go the way they should is, I take full responsibility. As a leader, you are responsible for your team. So taking the responsibility when things go well and when they also do not go well. Next one was, I make decisions that aligns with my values. Integrity is important, and integrity should not just show up when it's convenient. Integrity should show up every time. So making decisions that align with your values. I've had people say, well, Sally, HR made this decision and I don't agree with it because it doesn't align with my values and so on. But listen, you have a choice. If what the company is doing does not align with your values and they're not going to change, you really have a choice. Do you want to be at some place that doesn't align with your values? Does it mean what the company is doing is wrong? Not necessarily. It might not align with your religious values. It might not align with the conservative values. It might not align with the progressive values. The company has a right to do what the company is doing, and you got to figure out what you will do if it does not align with you. Because at the end of the day, they're paying you to do the job. I've had somebody say, Sally, I don't agree with this messaging they're sending out from HR. They're saying, it just doesn't sit well in my soul. And I said, but the company is paying you. This is what they believe in. This is their values, and you have a choice. If you're getting paid to do the job, you need to do the job, or you've got to think about if this is the place that is right for you. And the last one is, I lead the same in private as I do in public. I love that he picked this one also. I lead the same way I do in private as I do in public. How many times I have heard people say this to me at work. I don't know who that person is when they're in the meeting with the C-suite and the board members, because when they come back down to earth with us, they're a completely different person. They speak differently, they conduct themselves differently, they even say different things. But when they are up here with leadership, they're a different person. That's leading in private and leading in public. Do you change your personality when you are with leadership, and then change your personality when you are with your direct reports on your team? I see this so many times. Leaders will come to me and say, Sally, I just don't understand. I don't understand how this person can change like this depending on who they are with. We get different messages. Why can't the leader see that this is not a good person? Why can't the leader see that they're not pulling their weight? Because they have a different personality up here, you have a different personality down here. And so leaders have blinders on, they can't really see. And nobody dares to go up here and say, hey, you don't know who that person is, because they've never seen that side of that person. So I lead the same in private as I do in public. This is the true test of integrity. So, friends, this is a short episode, but today, if you do not have those I statements, you can have 3 of them for your team, or you can have 5 of them for your team, but it is your own charter. It is your own values that you have for your team. And it's something you don't come up by yourself. You do not do this by yourself. You need buy-in from your team. It's a fun thing that you all do it together and you all post it. And then you all give each other permission to hold each other accountable if someone does not live by the 5 I statements. So with that, I close this episode to say, if it sparked any interest in you, share it with someone. And remember, if you change your mindset, you can change your life. Have an amazing day until I see you in the next episode.